Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Den of DBZ All-Star. I'm DBZ All-Star, or Steve if you prefer, and I'm continuing my What I'm Thankful For series. It's going to be a little bit more sporadic than the Horror Homies 2025 series of videos happen to be, but I'm back with video number 2. So I am thankful for Marvel's Earth X Trilogy. It was Marvel's response, basically, to DC's event Kingdom Come, written by Mark Waid, illustrated by Alex Ross. This came out a few short years later in 1999 and is comprised of Earth X, Universe X, and Paradise X. The wonderful Torsten and I dove pretty deeply into the finer details of each bit of the trilogy, as well as the 2019 anniversary series that acts as a prequel, Marvel's X, in a video on his channel, Literature and Pictures, which I will link to in the description below this video. I've also done about 5-minute segments each for each part of the trilogy. Again, Earth X, Universe X, Paradise X, for the Omnibuds Cafè recently. I'll link to each of those videos as well. However, this is my personal video, and as much as I would love to do yet another deep dive into the masterpiece that is Earth X and its follow-up material in Universe X and Paradise X, this is just supposed to be a series of short-ish videos where I talk about what I am thankful for. And I'm thankful for this because in 1999, when this series started, I was still relatively new to Marvel Comics. I had actually only been reading Spider-Man comics from Marvel since the summer of 1995, beginning with the Trial of Peter Parker, Part 3 of 4, in the Spider-Man 1990 to 1998 series, issue 60. So smack dab in the middle of the infamous or famous 90s, the Clone Saga. This was my first true expansion into the greater Marvel Universe. Even though this is an alternate potential future, it helped me understand multiple families within Marvel, individual characters, who's a villain, who's a hero, and gave me an appreciation for the Inhumans, for the origins of many of these heroes, because again, from the summer of 1995 up until around, I want to say, the half issue from Wizard Magazine was my first issue. Then I backtracked for the back issues. I wasn't reading really anything from Marvel beyond Spider-Man. So this introduced me to the Fantastic Four when they weren't showing up in Spider-Man. And really, they didn't make a large amount of appearances because of events such as Onslaught and later on, Heroes Return brought them back into the main universe, but I wasn't reading the title at that point in time. So seeing Marvel's first family as they were presented in this, seeing the X-Men, it made me feel motivated to expand my horizons beyond just Spider-Man. So the basic pitch for this is that in this alternate future, time has gone by, of course, to proceed into this future, but the Terrigen Mists, which mutate, which empower the group of characters called the Inhumans, has been released upon the Earth. Who has done this? Who's responsible? That's one of the greater mysteries at hand within the first piece of the trilogy, Earth X. We also have an older Steve Rogers having to come to blows with an entity known as the Skull to figure out if this character is related in any way to his old nemesis, the Red Skull, if it's someone new, and how exactly this character is tied into Hydra, which is an organization that continues to take his friends and family members away from him and bring them into the fold to basically be mind controlled by Hydra under the control of this skull. It was my first introduction to X-51, also known as Aaron Stack, also known as Machine Man, who is the main source of exposition alongside Uatu, the Watcher, throughout Earth X. It's a series that's accompanied by beautiful covers by Alex Ross, brilliant artwork by Doug Braithwaite, John Paul Leone, and others throughout this entire trilogy. May Mr. Leone rest in peace, rest in power. Moving beyond the central conflict of Earth X, in Universe X, we see the return of a long gone character. We'll phrase it that way. No major spoilers. And how they're seeking to bridge the gap between what we have and what we've lost, which ends up leading into Paradise X to close out this trilogy. When you have everything you believe you want, is life still meaningful? And can you accept this gift at face value? Well, this trilogy works quite well together. Some areas are a slow burn, but that's okay because every piece contributes to the greater story at hand. There are prose pages which provide background exposition for the events between individual issues, what came before this event, and I'm thankful that this event exists. I'm thankful that this event was eventually printed in these two omnibus editions. I'm hoping for a reprint, and even though it is part of the Earth X story, I really don't think we need to expand Volume 2 of the Earth X omnibus by incorporating Marvel's X. It can really just stand on its own. It's more of a bonus story. But by all means, Marvel, if you want to not reprint as it was originally printed, then incorporate it, but do it into Volume 2, because it really reads better as a follow-up, even though it's a prequel to Earth X as it originally stood. I have this entire story in single issues, which are currently in storage, but I also, of course, have these Omnis. I was honored to be able to do that deeper dive with Torsten earlier this year, 2025, and I was incredibly excited to do smaller videos for the Omnibuds Cafè. Again, all of these will be linked to in the description below this video. Currently, I'm also working part-time at a local comic book store in addition to my regular duties, and it just so happens that there is a staff pick section. Because I've joined the staff recently, I was given the opportunity to present my staff pick for recommendation. So I selected the latest printing of the Earth X trade paperback, and I'm hoping to, when I work, be able to recommend that to those who are looking for a stellar done-in-one story that can also receive expansion. Please, Marvel, reprint Universe X, reprint Paradise X, because those trade paperback editions are long out of print and they have only had one printing. Please reprint these Omnis, because these have only had one printing as well. So that does it for this particular video for the What I'm Thankful For series. I'm going to continue my list of challenges here. I would like to see the other admins for the Omnibuds Cafè that weren't named in the previous video. So, Devin, Graham, Michael, Kyle, Adrian, please if you have the time throughout this month, please put together a short or a video and ensure that if you want it attached to an Omnibuds Cafè video, obviously talk to Kevin because he's our tech wizard for any of the Omnibuds Cafè social media or our YouTube channel. I'll link to that in the description below this video as well. Send them off to him so they can be incorporated into one long video if that's what you would like. As far as other challenges, they'll come in future videos. It's not a requirement, just something I'm asking because it helps build the community. I am thankful to be a part of a larger community and part of this culture / hobby / addiction. Yeah, inject those comics right into my veins, son. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this content and would like to see more, again, if you're watching on YouTube, you know this channel is DBZALLSTAR. I also have a mature content channel called DBZALLSTAR After Dark. I'm listed on TikTok under DBZALLSTAR or #1 Animaniac. I'm on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram as either #1 Animaniac or Animaniac1. I am also the affirmation administrator for the aforementioned Omnibuds Cafè. We are a community built on collaboration through communication without condemnation. If you're interested in manga, comics, collected editions of comics, or things of the geeky nature, please feel free to enlist to join. Thanks again so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe. X gonna give it to you.